How's it going, super friends? Welcome back to my channel, and to my better late than never action figure review of the MEZCO 1/12 Collective Classic Jester suit Harley Quinn. As usual, MEZCO keeping it simple with their basic box art. In this case, it's red, it's black, it's got diamonds, it's got words. Here's what the top of the box looks like, MEZCO 1/12 Collective. And then the back of the box, that's where all the fun begins, where we get to see images of Harley Quinn, all of her accessories, and some of the promo images that they showcased on the website. When we lift off that protective sleeve, we can see everything that's inside the box through this great big window. And once all out, this is everything that we got on the inside. One of the reasons why I like MEZCO 1/12 figures so much is the sheer number of accessories that they come with, and everything is always so well made. Her rocket launcher, the fired rocket, her mallet, the Joker doll, all the extra hands, the pop gun, the great big bomb with the fuse on top, the small hand grenade, as well as her great big open mouth, laughing head, and her really annoyed looking maskless face. I feel like she's looking at me like I had a pee and then didn't flush it and left the seat up, and then she fell in while trying to go to the bathroom at night. And take note, they only reused a few of the accessories for the Deluxe Harley Quinn, that being the Joker doll, the rocket launcher, and the rocket. And that means everything else? That all belongs to this figure. Which, might I add, is very eye-catching. The red and the black complement each other very nicely. And her body proportions, at least for the body portion, all work together quite nicely. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small. Until we get to the head sculpt. As usual. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I mean, you're looking at it, it's fantastic. But as usual, MEZCO 1/12 Collective figures, the heads are just a tiny bit too big for the body. And I know there's people that have tried to convince me that's incorrect, but you'll see during the comparisons that a figure that has a head this big should be taller. Still, they gave her proper frills around her wrists, which I think is fantastic. And of course, the bit that goes around her neck, her collar here, it's actually made out of fabric as well. It does look, not gonna lie, just a little cheap. It's not the thinness of the fabric, I think it's the kind of fabric that just kind of doesn't look right to me. But not looking at her under the close-up of a camera lens, honestly, it's not the kind of thing that I would look at and go, man, I'm not buying that figure, that looks cheap. Now to look at some of her accessories up close, I really like the fact that her mallet is A, different than the next Harley Quinn they released, and B, it's really painted to look quite nice. They got two tones of paint right there to try and simulate what wood actually looks like. They've painted her hand straps, the grips, black and red. This is a nice little accessory. The missile... Oh. Well, I just broke it. I was trying to open it. Hang on. Well, crap. Here's why I did that. The box art actually shows the missile launcher being open. Well, now I don't feel so bad for not noticing that this one was supposed to open during my Deluxe Harley Quinn review. Okay, people. Don't try to open it up, because it doesn't do what the box shows. You'll just break it, like I did. I mean, one thing that it does do is that the back pulls out like that. That's something that it does do, that isn't on the box. Moving along. Here's what the pop gun looks like. You got a bat on the front of the great big cork. It's a great big clunky looking exaggerated silly gun for Bat. Looks like she's saving this one for him. And here's the next accessory. It's the bomb. The kiss of death. It's explosive. I'm an idiot. Then of course we have Harley's bedtime Joker stuffy. The thing that she cuddles up to at night when she's scared of, Batman? a Batman under her bed? And she has a little grenade. I'm not even going to try and hold on to it. It's in this picture. So as I said before, Harley comes with a lot of stuff, which again is one of the reasons why I love MEZCO 1/12 Collective figures. For those of you curious to see how she compares against some other classic Jester suit Harley Quinns, we have the DC Icons, the Ugly Face DC Essentials. On the other side, we have the Arkham Knight, and then finally, the DC Universe Classics. And then, of course, the comparative portion of the video wouldn't be complete until we compared both of the MEZCO 1/12 Collective Harleys. Now for this figure's articulation, get it? Articulation, Harley Quinn, Articulation. That's right, folks. I'm here all night. Tip jar is at the foot of the stage. That's typical standard fare for MEZCO 1/12 Collective. If you're someone like me, it'll be just enough. If you're someone that really wants to pose her around doing action figure photography, you might find it lacking. Torso has two ball joints, and around they go. They're okay. Some people might feel that they are lacking. Other people might feel like it's sufficient. Head's also on a ball joint, and it's actually pretty good for the range of motion that you can get just from the head having articulation and nothing down in the neck. The shoulders are okay. They've got a pretty good range of motion as well, up and down, all around. The elbows, I just hope she never has to scratch her head, because the single jointies, that's all they do. We got the rounded hinges in the wrists that also have the peg swivels. She's got the ball joints right up here in the groin. It's an okay range of motion. It's hard to tell at times without really manipulating the suit, because it does get in the way on account of the fact that it hangs down so low and looks like a set of onesie pajamas. But it's okay. Leg up that high, spready out that wide. The knees are of the single jointed variety. I don't think they're actually intended to rotate. I think that's just right here is what you get as far as the legs go. Then her feet, you got these here pixie boots that definitely get in the way of what she's capable of. Up that, back that, and rotating in a circle. And that is it. Certainly not the best articulation I've seen on a Harley Quinn action figure in my time, but definitely not the worst. Let the record show that this one has worse articulation. Now, what do I think about this Harley, having her out of the package and fiddled with her and looked at all of her accessories and compared it to others and mucked with her articulation and also placed her in front of the camera and had a little photo shoot with her? I like her. I knew I was going to like her. And I guess people could say, well, you like everything that you buy. Well, that's because I typically don't buy things that I think I'm going to not like. That's just a waste of money. True, sometimes I am surprised by something and how terrible it is. And as much as I'm quick to be honest and point out things that I don't like about figures, I'm also a very forgiving individual. All things aside, I still would say, giving this Harley a fair shake, she's quite a fantastic rendition of classic Jester suit Harley. She's definitely better than the DC Essentials version. She feels less brittle in my hands than the Arkham Knight version. She's definitely better than the DC Universe Classics Harley. So I would say, even though I really like her, she's probably my second favorite Jester suit Harley. Number one still goes to the DC Icons. But nonetheless, she's still a very good figure and absolutely worth owning if you're a Batman fan, if you're a Harley Quinn fan, if you've been collecting the MEZCO ONE 12th Collective DC Universe, and maybe Tank Girl Harley hasn't quite been your thing, then this is the Harley to have. This is the one to get. She's not perfect, she does have her flaws as an adult collectible, but she's certainly a very good attempt. Anyway, super friends, that's all the time I have today, so thank you so much for coming and checking out this video review of the MEZCO ONE 12th Collective Harley Quinn action figure in the classic Jester suit, and I will see you next time with the next one. Have a DC day, everybody!